Now I've got a cool pattern for you today. I got the inspiration for this one from Tim Camisa's Tying Euro Nymphs. Now it's kind of a Perdigon, but really a mix between a Perdigon and then a rockworm, which is kind of a caddis larva. And not counting the hook and bead, it's just a 2-material fly. For the body, I'm going to use this MFC Scales and Tails, which is really, I think, made for streamer wings, but I'm going to use it as a nymph body. And then the other component is, get this, ostrich herl from this feather duster, ostrich plume feather duster. Now this is a good tip for all fly tyers. If you use a lot of ostrich or you want to, go to Walmart and pick up one of these for, $8 or $10. It'll have more plumes in here than you can use in your lifetime. I've had this one for several years, can't even tell I've been using it. So it's a really simple tie, but I've had success with a fly very similar to this one, so it's a pretty good pattern to have in your box. So there we go in the vise, my little semi-Perdigon rockworm kind of Euro nymph. Now this is a size 14 barbless clinkhammer hook with a 2.4 millimeter black tungsten bead. I'm going to use some black 70 denier thread, just catch it in anywhere up front. I'm not going to use the thread to hold that bead in. It would just take way too much of it. There we go. Now let's take our thread to the back, close to where we want to start our body. And here's where I'm trying something new. This MFC Scales and Tails. So a decent sized tuft of it. This is about a 12-inch long piece. I'm just going to catch it in back here with a little pinch wrap. Watch the point of my hook there. Okay, several wraps to really lock this in. And is that far enough back? Maybe go a little bit farther back just to get me a little bit more of a body. Okay, that'll work. Now we can do some loose wraps right here just to kind of help keep our body a little bit thicker. It's not going to do a whole lot for us, but we'll build the thick part of the body just by the number of wraps that we put down. So now let's park our thread right up here behind the bead, and we're going to wrap this up. And you can treat this like a yarn or a thread or a rope. You can spin it clockwise to cord it up, or let it lay flat. I'm going to let it lay flat for the most part until I get up there to the bead. Then I'm going to go halfway back and then back up forward again. That'll give us a little bit of a taper. So I'll speed this up, but you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about. Okay, that's a little bit of a taper, not a whole lot, but I'm going to live with it. Okay, 2 or 3 wraps to secure that. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a quick whip finish. Now I'm not sure if this part is vital or not, but in true Perdigon style, I'm going to put some UV resin over this. This MFC stuff does appear to be pretty strong, pretty tough, but this will give it just a little bit of a shine and certainly make it a more durable fly. So I'm putting a good bit of UV resin where I can, move it all the way around, top, bottom, sides, etc. And maybe take my stopper before I harden it up just to try to even this out a little bit. Okay, that should be good. Now 10 or 15 seconds with the UV light. And now here's the rockworm part of it. Let's go ahead and catch our thread in again. And as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to use some ostrich herl. Peacock herl would be fine here too, I'm sure. But I've got this big feather duster that I don't use often enough, and ostrich is pretty cool material. I'm not putting a lot, 2 or 3 wraps up here just to give it a little bit of life, a little bit of a head. And now whip finish it right behind the bead, front of that herl. And there we go, little rockworm Perdigon. Pretty easy tie, but you know this thing's gonna catch some fish. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.